day 8 is here. And we kind of lose the desert vibe in this track, and I think it's for the best. So, our traveler has been found by a band of not wanderers. We'll get into that in a second. Let's roll the intro thing. All right. So yesterday, I guess, we found, or I guess our wanderer was found by a band of not wanderers. And what I mean by not wanderers is they seem like nomadic people, but the desert, or at least this area, is their home. And so they can't be wanderers if they're not lost. Well, this it starts off with like there's a lot of interesting sound effects. I did like the whole horse, like kind of like the rolling up of almost like a wagon. Like so, the other one was like you could hear them coming in the distance. Now they're here. They found our wanderer, and they have stopped to pick him up. You can hear the cart rolling up. You can hear them kind of like climbing out, opening the door, climbing out of the wagon, coming back in, closing it. You can hear the horse trotting, neighing, all that kind of fun stuff. So it was a fun track to do. It also has a very tropical sound as it progresses, which is a far, or at least seemingly far cry from this desert vibe we have had that was oh so prominent even in just um, the very last song. But remember, these are thoughts. And so this guy is having thoughts now because these people have stopped. They have picked him up. And as the title says, and of course, the title of this one is They Say They Live by the Ocean, this man realizes this vast desert actually isn't as vast as it may seem. And there is hope, there's water, there's life. Finding ocean means finding a way to get home, back across to wherever he is from, wherever that is. Haven't decided that yet. And so, yeah, this is a fun track. It was very, like I said, very tropical sounding, a little bit of a far cry from what these other tracks have been. So let's just go ahead and flip over there and let's just start listening to track 8. So our wanderer is dreaming of this new land that these people are taking him outside of the desert, outside of this dry, barren wasteland. He's dreaming of water and life and other people. And it's excitement and these thoughts are flooding his head of an oasis in the desert. And that's why this song has that vibe, has a very tropically vibe to me. It's a great song for triple chamber ocarina, really double chamber, but I have a triple and I like my triple better than my double. So I'll play everything on triple. But very fun to play. It was in a major key, so it was a lot easier to play, like less, or it was in C major, I guess I should say. So it was very easy to play. And I love that little trill, the kind of at the end. It took forever to record that right. Like it's a very complex trill, but that little walk down at the end, right around the 2 minute and 30 second mark. I don't know if you were watching me in the bottom corner. I'm typically pretty boring in that bottom corner, but I got a little excited when that came up. I don't know. I really liked that part. So triple chamber ocarina, cajon drum again. There was a lot of melodica in this. The melodica line was actually what inspired this entire track. Just that kind of like that. I don't know, almost it has a tropical vibe, but it was like a palace-y vibe. I don't know. Anyway, so I played that little line, and that's what really inspired this whole track forward. And I love just being able to walk through with Ocarina and just have fun with it, solo with it, and see what came of this track. So it was a lot of fun. And it's, like I said, Far Cry, but on its own, it stands as a really solid track. And I think it was a good transitional piece to start pushing into this new aspect. Like I said, this whole thing isn't going to take place in the desert, it's going to evolve and to grow. So he's leaving the desert now. A couple things to note in the very beginning: the horse walking, trotting, all that. I recorded a lot of that right here in the office. So for the rolling effect, I used my wedding ring and just, you probably can't hear it very well, but just rolled it across the desk. I don't know. You can't really, it keeps falling over, but you get the idea. I rolled it across the desk. I also used this jar of honey because it had a metal lid and I thought it would sound really good. And it has like the weight to one side, so it kind of has a bit of a cranking over, like a little off-centered turn, just not a constant rolling sound. So I literally just rolled it across the desk and sampled those two things together for the rolling of the tire, or the, I guess, the cart. And so that's what made the rolling sound. The horse trot and the horse neigh were Apple loops. They were already built into Logic because I don't have a horse on hand. There's one at the neighbor's house. I don't really feel like sneaking into the neighbor's yard to record a horse or asking permission because that's just a lot of work. And finally, all the doors opening, shutting, and all that's literally just that door right there. And I recorded a bunch of that. I had for like kind of, there's almost this like slamming shut, lasping sound you hear, like metal on metal. And I have just a wooden chest that has like a latch on it that I use for that, and kind of mixed it in with the steps on my, like just literally walking on my floor here, opening, shutting that door. That door has a little bit of a squeak, so that kind of helped out with that as well. So all of that mixed together, transitioning into that bass line that leads in the melodica and the ukulele and the cajon and of course the ocarina, which carries the bulk of this song. And that wraps up track 8. We're going to be going into a daydreaming song next while he's riding in the back of this wagon. So stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you're enjoying this series. Let me know in the comment section. And check me out on all those other social media places where I just so happen to be. I'll see you tomorrow.